I'm looking back at 10 years of CoD right now. I'd like to start at Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I think that this came out at the golden era of gaming when it was competing against Halo 3. And Halo 3 was one of the greatest multiplayers ever made. And at that time, people were saying the same about Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This was at a time when being MLG actually meant something. People who pioneered in that, people remember T-Squared? Oh man, that guy was cheesy as hell, but at that time, that was when everyone was getting competitive. That was when people were really starting to take off and think that, hey, esports can be a real thing. Up until that point, we weren't talking too much esports here in North America. And North America is aggressive, that's just a fact. They like shooters. South Koreans are more crafty, so they're gonna stick to RTS games. I believe North Americans make some of the best first-person shooters because they're just aggressive as fuck. What is in your water? Don't ask that to people in Flint, because then you're not gonna hear the end of it. That joke may have been in poor taste. Like their water. But looking back at this series, I think everyone has a tendency to look at it through rose-colored glasses. And I think that's gonna depend on your own experience and when you came into the franchise. And I am no exception to this, so keep that in mind for this video. When I wanted to reminisce about these games, I just instantly went to the game and kill streaks. Because I found that those were the moments that really stuck out to me. I'm like, I remember this kill streak. All the memorable moments in CoD seem to be about kill streaks. And they have some pretty damn good kill streaks. I actually think they toned them down for this game. But after Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, still pretty good. Black Ops 2, that was a pretty great game. I thought that was one of the best ones. Ghost was when I'm like, what happened? I'm like the attention span of the game just fell. That's when I first noticed the spawns going bad, the levels just were not tactical enough. I saw a few things where you used to have a UAV, you would actually press your start button and take a big look at the whole map. You can hardly do that in any of the modern Call of Duty games because they're so fast paced. It almost only gives you one strategy, which is to typically be aggressive and keep moving forwards. If this is a tactic to combat camping, then why make torque? And then why buff them? I was getting used to this thing. It was like an AC 130. Nothing new. But as I was looking back at some of the Call of Duties, remember the one where you were like in an orbital satellite and you can flashbang enemy opponents and also ping them on the map? That was a really cool streak. I would like to see more support streaks again. And we've been talking for a while, so I just want to get to the point real quick and then we're going to start just, you know, talking about the overall again. But the whole point of this video is the reason that I find that you'll never be able to make another great Call of Duty is just because they all end up being just Call of Duty. There is nothing innovative in this series. Even when I'm talking about things like the orbital satellite, where it wasn't just an aggressive one, there was also a defensive one. Like, that was an innovation to the game. The classes were also an innovation. You know, we've seen a couple of these now. And there's been a few changes to the game, but overall, you're just never going to get something unique anymore. I actually think that's the same thing that happened to the Halo series. After Halo 3, I tried 2 more Halos and then I gave up. I was like, okay, Halo's done. They've done what they could. You could never recapture this feeling of earlier times, because earlier you'd never seen anything like it. You're just like, I am this super soldier with a gun. The physics feel amazing. You can do so many tricks in that game, from like just toe ledge grab jumps, ninja jumps over people when they're going around corners. What else could you do in that game? When you were like shot up by one of those like pads as a booster, if you crouch and hit the ground, you could pretty much bunny hop. The physics in that game were just amazing and it felt great, but when you just keep going with the same thing, you're like, oh, that's all you have to offer. It's like, okay, it's over. That's why I got so caught up in Titanfall, because it was the only real innovation in first-person shooters in a long time. I'm also going to give props to Overwatch because they took the hero character and put it into an FPS really well. I actually don't play Overwatch. I never gave it a chance, I'll be honest. I maybe should have. At first, I didn't really even understand what was happening. I thought some kills were just like too quick. It almost seemed too random for me at times, but that was probably because I was so inexperienced in it. There must be something competitive to it because so many people do play it competitively, right? So obviously that has its own flavor. It's unique. It always has additional characters. That's the cool thing about that. I think that really makes a game a lot better because it makes it evolve. It keeps it fresh. And that's really what I've been talking about, just keeping it fresh and being able to make enough changes that you're giving somebody a new game, not just the same old game with cosmetic changes, small changes to the mobility system. Like, they keep tweaking the mobility system. Like, their wall run, I thought was pretty funny, but what can you do? You're a soldier, right? They tried the exosuits, the dashes and stuff like that, and when I played that Call of Duty, I was like, it's pretty neat, but the spawns were so messed up, the maps were so small, and the mobility was so fast in a sense, that the game ended up just feeling sloppy. And if you were to go from Modern Warfare straight to anything past Ghosts, you're gonna be like, what is up with this game? Remember this trick? This was Modern Warfare 2. You put on the Cold-Blooded perk, and you spammed Y, so your gun was like always changing, and your corpse looked all funny like you were dead. And they didn't see the outline, so they just assumed you were a dead body, and you could get the funniest streaks with that. If there was any kind of tall grass, it made the effect even better. Or you kind of position your like head in a corner just to kind of seem like you just dropped dead there. Oh my god, like those were the little things that made that game so good. But I found that those games were more ordered. It wasn't as much chaos. You could be more tactical. And every time you got a kill streak, you felt pretty damn good in those games. But I think that still stands to this day. By the way, machine guns, I can't believe how people are like talking about ARs at the beginning of games. Again, part of the problem of everybody is that people are bitching before they know what they're even bitching about. When people were complaining about assault rifles, it's like, have you put on an LMG? This is my like first time using it too, and I didn't know if I was gonna get the penetration because I'm like, I have no perks. So am I gonna get the penetration? But it actually doesn't have a penetration perk at all. It I guess it's naturally put into the strength of the LMG. But yeah, it's like, you guys got to try more things. You guys got to get out more before you guys start criticizing a game. I played the game after they changed the spawns, and they did tweak them. I noticed right away. I'm like, very nice, you know? But you can only do so much when you have level design that's so small, and you got guys that are so mobile. And the game is just so well known that you have all these lone wolves flanking hard all the time. Just makes it tough, man. It's gonna make it tough to make this game different. You could always go back, but does anybody really want to play the same old game? People are like, give me back the tactical play of Modern Warfare. Go back to the style of Black Ops 2, or go back to Modern Warfare 2, minus the noob tubes and one-man army perk. But then you're just giving somebody the same game. They remastered the games, right? So if you want that, I guess, but I need something new in each iteration, or I don't see how you're gonna keep people. Like, you're not gonna keep me, that's for sure. Am I enjoying this one? Yeah, I think this is the best Call of Duty to come out. I skipped everything from Ghosts to Black Ops 4. I did buy World War II, but I think I played it for like 2 weeks. I don't know. It was pretty boring to me. Overall, it was just super boring. And it also didn't feel good. It wasn't polished at all. I swear the hit detection was garbage. They apologized at the beginning of the launch, and it seems like that's all they've done at the beginning of launches for the most part. I love how that there's probably people trying to design Call of Duty, like the next one, as the one that's going to come out that year is being made. So they're probably like stepping all over each other's toes. They're like, what, you're going to put this in? No, I was going to put this into the next one. It's like, no, you can't do that. Blah, who knows what the fuck's going on there? A 1-year turnaround? That's crazy. So what else can you expect, right? How much can they really do in 1 year? You can't build this thing up from the ground up every year. So can anybody ever be happy with Call of Duty? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm enjoying this one. And I don't play it hardcore. I don't think I could ever get into a Call of Duty again hardcore, surprisingly. But it's a really fun pick up and play shooter. And it's the best iteration that they've had, in my opinion, in the last 5 years. So you better start running, fool.